Good morning. Welcome to the Community Review on Hot 92.3. I'm Josefa Salinas, your host. Profiles in Life and Success. It's our series that we run 3 times a year, highlighting events or people who are doing amazing things. And I have someone very special in-house with me today. We've done a lot of things with Charles Drew University over the years. They have an amazing jazz series that ran at Charles Drew every year that we talked about. Dr. Gloria McNeil. She's named the founding dean of the New School of Nursing at Charles Drew University of Medicine and Science. Right here in Southern California, folks. A lot of people do not know this. This new state-of-the-art technology in their nursing program is so amazing that people are saying it looks like it's the inside of a hospital and it's a nursing program. Good morning, Dr. McNeil.
Good morning, and thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's such a pleasure to have you here. Nursing. I mean, talk about a field that you can kind of count on having a job.
Absolutely.
When you make it through. And what a great field to go into. So many people forget. They always think, oh, I think I'll be a doctor. And then they don't make it through medical school or they don't make it into medical school. They're like, oh, forget it. Nursing, that is a field that men and women pursue.
That's right. We're having many more men come into the nursing profession than ever before. And in addition, what's so unique about our program is that it's an entry-level master's program, meaning that if you have a bachelor's degree in any field whatsoever, we give you some prerequisites that you have to take prior to being admitted to our program, but you're good to go after that point. And so it's a movement that's going across the country of the nursing profession trying to invite others who are in other disciplines who maybe now are out of a job and looking for work. This is an excellent opportunity to enter nursing. So we take individuals who are a little older than 22.
Uh-huh.
So, and in all kinds of fields, business, motion pictures, people who are looking now to change their direction. So we offer that opportunity for them.
Very nice. Now, how long would this program be?
This is 22 months. It is accelerated, so we do have to say that it's full-time. We don't have a part-time option, and most of the programs across the country are not part-time either. So you do have to give up your work to come and be with us, and you do have to plan for at least 60 hours of class and study every week in order to be successful. But upon graduation, you will be certified as a registered nurse as well as a clinical nurse leader, and that is another opportunity for nursing to grow in a leadership position. And we do feel that individuals with bachelor's degrees and above in other fields are excellent for this new entry-level master's.
Well, what about somebody like me who, studied political science, psychology, have been in radio for 24 years, and when I think nursing, I think biology, chemistry, all of these things that I tried to avoid in college.
Right. And those courses are required. We have sciences that you will take. And most of our students will take those courses at a community college. And that's perfectly fine. Some of the courses actually can be CLEP. That means that you'll take an examination that provides you advanced placement ability. And some individuals can do online programs, and that's fine as well. But you do have to, and Drew offers those courses. So if you'd like to start out at Drew, you can do that in our undergraduate programs and then move into the master's level nursing.
Okay, all right. So if my degree is in that area and didn't have the sciences, I should probably go and take some of the sciences first before going into that master's program.
That's correct. So if you go to our website, www.cdrewu.edu, and click on the School of Nursing, you can download an application, and it spells out in detail what's required.
Very good. So let's talk a little bit about this program and why it's so unique and state-of-the-art and new.
That's right. Well, the building was just finished and completed, and we did the ribbon cutting August of last year. And it was structured in such a way that the School of Nursing looks like and feels like in every way a hospital unit. So when you walk into the facility, you're immediately exposed to a medical surgical unit, an intensive care bed, a birthing room, and a neonatal that is a little tiny babies, their ICU. And in addition, we have an operating room suite and an area where we will be establishing clinics. So in every moment that you're sitting in the classroom, everything around you looks like a hospital. And so we've put in those beds what is now called human patient simulators. These are mannequins that are anatomically correct in every way. They look like human beings. They act like human beings.
iRobot, here we come.
And so we're using simulation to train our students, and using the aeronautics industry's a sort of a way of teaching pilots how to manage an airplane. I mean, you have to do thousands of hours in simulation before you're ever placed in a real cockpit. So we're doing that same kind of thing with our students. We're giving them hundreds of hours in a simulated setting so that they're ready when they enter the real world to hit the ground running.
Very nice. Now, a little bit about Charles Drew. You know, there are a lot of people that don't even know this university exists.
Yes.
And it's amazing to me because it's right here. People always say, oh, USC, UCLA.
Exactly.
And they think that that's it
Yeah.
for Los Angeles, but there's so much more here. Tell me more about Charles Drew.
Well, Charles Drew, as you know, is about 45, 50 years old, and grew out of the riots of the 60s, the civil rights movement, as did many schools of its kind in this country. And so an agreement was established with the community that such an entity, Charles Drew University, would be established with a medical school initially, and the purpose was to help train individuals from the community to become physicians, if that was their choice. And as time moved on and Drew University grew, it developed a College of Science and Health and started adding allied health programs, so like nuclear medicine, technology, escaping me, and other courses that would help you in the health professions of any kind. And then most recently, the School of Nursing was added to offer now a rounded out experience. So students can either be medical students, or they can be allied health professionals, or they can be nursing students. And so that's where we are now in our evolutionary process.
What do you think about our healthcare situation in the United States right now? I mean, it's devastating what the insurance companies are doing to people. I know that I'm madly searching for another healthcare provider because Blue Shield took my policy from $1,300 a quarter to $2,400 a quarter in 3 months. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what? My pay didn't go up that much. How do they expect me to pay it?
That's right.
You know, and I mean, it's ludicrous. When I called them, I said, oh, well, you can thank your president for that. I'm like, thank my president?
Right. Well, I think that's a little short-sighted in that response, because never before has a president ever paid attention to the discipline of nursing. The Obama administration very clearly has. It has placed millions and millions of dollars in opportunities for individuals to become nurses so they desire. There is money for scholarships. There is money upon graduation. If you agree to work in an underserved area for 2 to 3 years, your federal loan will be forgiven. This kind of attraction has never been placed before nursing. But in addition, the Obama administration recognizes that advanced practice nurses can indeed be primary care providers. We know if we give every American citizen insurance, that does not guarantee access to a primary care provider.
Right.
So unless we increase the numbers of individuals who can practice at that level, even insured patients will not have a place to go. So that administration is doing everything that it can to provide opportunity for nurses to become advanced in their training, and an advanced practice nurse is able to diagnose, manage, prescribe, and treat common illnesses like high blood pressure, cardiac disease, diabetes, asthma, the gamut, the typical,
the cold and flu kinds of symptoms, right?
Exactly. And because our education is, 2 years at the most, as compared with what one goes through to become a physician, it's much less expensive an opportunity. And so we can offer that service at a reduced rate.
And, to be honest, I think that you've got a better shot, to me, with the nurse, because she's the one that's actually talking to all the patients. They're the first ones that you see. They're talking, and they're the ones that, take the time to talk. How are you doing? Tell me about your symptoms. How are you feeling? And they really have that one-on-one with all of the people. where the doctor just breezes in after they've done all that, breezes in, oh, yeah, well, okay, all right, here's what it is, boom, and then out the door they go. That one-on-one isn't there. So if you give these nurses more opportunity to be the lead, the doctors can go concentrate on like really important illnesses or someone who's, very, very ill or injured, and the nurses can handle the other things that are available, which means you get through clinics or your doctor's office faster.
Absolutely.
With less cost.
That's absolutely right. That's correct. So we enjoy collaborating with physicians because a lot of what we do is kind of medical practice. But we do recognize that we have imbued throughout our curriculum a concept of the psychosocial needs of the patient and addressing him from a spiritual perspective, from a cultural perspective, and those things are not quite embedded within medical education. So nursing is trained to handle the patient's needs from every aspect. In addition, we have to think about where we're discharging the patient. If he's going to the home environment, who's there? Who can assist in managing the care? And what kinds of conditions is he going to be placed under? Because we have to consider things like writing a prescription for a very expensive medication for a patient who maybe is unemployed, doesn't have access, doesn't have drug coverage. We have to think about ways that can be done in a much less costly fashion. Not sure that medicine is always paying attention to those kinds of issues. So, for example, a patient with high blood pressure, we say to them, you should have a low-salt diet for the rest of your life. Well, what does that mean? Unless you're actually in the home looking in the cupboards, looking in the refrigerator, you really don't have a sense of what the patient is exposed to and what his knowledge base might be. We in nursing are trained to address those issues.
So let's talk a little bit about you.
Oh.
When did you decide that medicine was going to be a part of your life?
Well, my mother was a nurse, and she would come home and share her stories with us. And it was just so fascinating to hear. She would be given patients who, for example, were diagnosed as failure to thrive. They were not expected to live. And my mother would, through her emotional intimacy with the patients, help them have a reason and a hope. And she believed in nutrition, and she believed in exercise, and she believed in socializing her patients. And so that just turned around their whole existence. So she would take these failure to thrive patients and turn them into real people who could continue to make contributions. So that instilled a love of nursing for me. And from there, it was just on to education to do those things.
And tell me, describe more about Charles Drew and the actual campus, where it's located, so people can get a real feel and maybe come out and visit.
Okay. Charles Drew is located in the Watts area of Los Angeles on 120th Street. And it is a small, historically black graduate institution. That is a federal designation because its mission is to increase the numbers of minorities, ethnically diverse students who wish to enter into the health professions. So all throughout the building, the main administrative building, one will see the image and some of the contributions made by Dr. Charles Drew. He was an African-American physician who in the 40s discovered a process for transfusing blood. He patented that process, and because of that invention, he is credited with saving hundreds of thousands of lives, especially during World War II. Because prior to that invention, one had to get a direct transfusion person to person.
Really?
Right, exactly.
So somebody else had to be right there, and the blood had to go from that person to you.
Exactly.
Wow, that's complicated.
So when he patented this invention, he enabled then the storage of blood so that you could bank it and use it as needed. So that really revolutionized how we handle blood transfusions. So the United States Navy has recognized Dr. Charles Drew's contributions in a very, very huge way. In fact, they've commissioned a naval ship after him, the USS Charles Drew, and we have a replica of that ship in the lobby of our School of Nursing. But more importantly, this ship travels around the world, delivering supplies wherever they're needed. So his legacy lives on, and we are very proud to be named in his honor.
Very nice. Now, this is one of the only, is it the only historically black college this way out west?
It is. There are 4 historically black graduate institutions. And so we are the only one in the western part of the United States. Now, there's another designation, historically black college and university, that's a little different from who we are. There are many more, about 117 HBCUs. There are only 4 historically black graduate institutions in the country, however, so that really does uniquely position us. So we want more diverse students. And we want students from our communities, because we are very proud to say that our graduates, upon graduation, continue decades out serving the underserved. And that is a contribution that very few schools can make. So we want to continue that legacy and move forward.
Very good. Do you have a phone number and a website for us?
We do. Our phone number is 323-568-3302. That will get you directly into the School of Nursing. And our website is www.cdrewu.edu. And once you're there, you can click on the School of Nursing and download our information.
So again, that phone number one more time?
323-568-3302.
And the website one more time?
www.cdrewu.edu.
Very good. And I'll make sure that the links to all of this is up on my webpage at hot923.com, keyword Josefa. So here we've got another opportunity. 2011 is the year of change. Is this the year that you will change your life and perhaps head into the nursing field? Charles Drew University of Medicine and Science might be the exact place for you. Give them a call, 323-568-3302. Go to the website, www.cdrewu.edu, and find out if this might be your next step into the future. Dr. McNeil, thank you so much for coming down and sharing with us. And Mi Casa es Su Casa, come back and see us anytime there's something going on at Charles Drew. You come back and tell us all about it.
Well, great. And thank you so much for having me.
Don't go away. There's more coming up in Profiles in Life and Success. Macy's is coming our way with an extraordinary exhibit, and the She Cares Foundation is back. It's all next on the Community Review, Hot 92.3.